I invite Dr. Manasvi Maheshwari, Associate Professor, DME Media School, to kindly take the session forward.
Thank you, Dr. Manmeet. Thank you everyone for joining us. And the moment I see most of the students here sitting and waiting for their performances, trust me, we all are really excited to see you, but we really need your cooperation. Please have some patience. We are running late, I understand that, but please be there, be seated and listen to the messages what we have received from our dignitaries abroad also. So we move ahead. We have some messages from our partners. We have messages from our co-organizers also. So you all, especially the first year students, by now I'm sure you know that how big we are, right? May I have a yes? Not sleeping, right? So when we say that we are so big, everybody coming here is saying that ICAN is really grand. So there are a lot of guiding forces which are with us, who are guiding us at the every step. They could not make it today, they are not here today, but they have sent their messages. And one notable person who has played a significant role in our journey is Professor Ujjwal K. Chaudhary. He's the advisor and professor at Daffodil International University, Dhaka, and vice president of GMEC, our conference partner. So we request technical team to play his message.
This is Professor Ujjwal Kumar Chaudhary and I'm talking from Dhaka this time. I'm very excited to be the co-chair of ICAN6. ICAN6, this international conference, very high level conference on media and communication issues that has been going on for the last 5 years, enters into the 6th edition. And I'm so impressed that this program has continued irrespective of whether we were suffering from the pandemic, online, offline or hybrid. In every form it has been going on for the last 5 years, and now we enter into the 6th year, and this time for the first time it is not only physical but multi-locational, multinational. I am very happy that my university in Dhaka, Daffodil International University, is a partner in this, and 2 days of this multiple location and multi-days program we shall be organizing in the month of August in Dhaka, and the teams from India would be coming here. The theme this time, for example, is identity, culture and agenda-driven newscast. Indeed, news across the world, from completely neutral, impartial, non-committal news, it has moved on to taking a stand. For right or wrong reasons, that has become a norm. And often, it has become also agenda-driven. That's on one side, the conceptual or what should I say, the practice side of it, the opinionated part of it. But on the other side, this news industry, the media and news industry has become highly technology driven. Yes, the pandemic has leapfrogged the web-based news. News once upon a time in the 20th century was print-led, then it became electronic media-led in the earlier part of 21st century. But with 2020, the pandemic coming in, it has become web or digital or internet-led. Today, that's the mother medium, the internet, and the other coexist as a part of the convergence. But how this converged news media, dependent on technology, how is it changing also the content, influencing the content as well? And the latest player in this game is artificial intelligence and machine learning. So it's very interesting at this point of time to organize an international conference that looks at this whole question of identity, culture and agenda-driven newscast. So it will be very interesting how various researchers from India, Nepal, Bangladesh, various cities of India, Australia, UK, they come together to create this mega international conference organized by the DME Academy. I congratulate the Dean, Dr. Ambarish Saxena ji, Manasvi ji and all others in the team, Sushmita Balaji and everyone in the team for carrying forward this particular program in a robust, in-depth, deep dive and all-encompassing or inclusive manner. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. If you are watching us live on Facebook, we are missing you here. So our collaborator, Deakin University, and their team of experienced faculty members have always advised us, guided us in various phases of our ICAN journey. Dr. Victoria Duckett, Associate Professor, Associate Head of School International and Engagement, Deputy Director, Deakin Motion Lab, School of Communication and Creative Arts, Faculty of Arts and Education, Deakin University is very closely associated with us. She is an international educator, award-winning author with over 30 years of experience. She has also sent her best wishes for the conference.
Hi everyone, welcome and a warm greeting from the School of Communication and Creative Arts in Burwood, Melbourne, Australia. My name is Victoria Duckett and I'm the Associate Head of School, Partnerships and Engagement in the School of Communication and Creative Arts. I'm really sorry that I can't attend ICAN6 in person and that I've had to pre-record a Zoom greeting. But what I really wanted to say and what I really want to express is a heartfelt thanks and congratulations, in particular to Dr. Ambrish Saxena, the Professor and Dean of DME Media School, who since 2018 has really led and driven this forum. I think it's a terrific forum which poses very important questions, and I congratulate the ICAN leadership, I congratulate the advisory board, as well as the peer reviewers that are internal and external. There's a terrific amount of people who have been involved in enabling and producing this forum. And I just think that the kinds of conversation that it allows transnationally, globally, across cultures, across communities is very, very important. So again, I'm sorry that I'm not present, and I thank you very much for the invitation to address you, and I really look forward to ongoing collaborations and above all to listening to and participating in some of the forums. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Victoria. From Australia, we move to UK. We have a message from Dr. Ilham Attaf, Professor of Film, Gender and Public Engagement, School of Art, Media and American Studies, University of East Anglia, UK. She teaches courses on women and media and documentary. She is the chair for Teaching, Learning and Scholarship Knowledge Community of NAFSA, Association of International Educators. Soon, DME will be working with her on a research project. So I request her message to be played.
Hello everyone, my name is Ayla Matakal. I'm Professor of Film, Gender and Public Engagement and Associate Pro-Vice Chancellor for Global Engagement at the University of East Anglia. I'm also a very proud friend of Delhi Metropolitan Education Media School as we work closely together. And I wanted to send you this little video note to warmly welcome you all to the 6th International Media Conference. And this year's theme is very timely and very significant at the same time: identity, culture, and agenda-driven newscast. The conference is a brilliant international platform for academics, researchers, and students to present their research, but also to interact with the industry professionals as well. I really hope everyone has a wonderful journey of learning and sharing over the next few days, and wishing you all a very productive and quite a fun conference. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your messages. We are happy to have amongst us Dr. Jyotika Ramaprasad as chair of the inaugural ceremony. Dr. Jyotika is a professor at University of Miami, USA. She will deliver her presidential address today. She had held positions of administrative responsibility as Associate Interim Dean in Southern Illinois University. Her recent interest in journalism studies and social and behavioral change communication. She has also been a Fulbright scholar at an Indian Institute of Communication and a Fulbright specialist in Germany and South Africa. In the area of journalism studies, Professor is part of two major collaborative projects, the BRICS Media Systems project funded by Academy of Finland and Worlds of Journalism study funded from various sources. I am a big fan of her enthusiasm and hard work. I request ma'am to please come here for her address.
Good afternoon and namaste to all of you. I'm actually quite humbled to be asked to present in this pretty august audience of administrators, of senior administrators, of distinguished scholars, and of my professional colleagues. For this honor, I would like to thank Professor Suresh, Professor Ogra, Professor Kishore, Professor Ganju, Vice Chairman Sahani, Justice Bhavar Singh, Professor Ravikant Swami, and last but not least in any way, Professors Ambrish Saxena and Sushmita Bala, for their many kindnesses and also very much for their environmental awareness. I praise them for the courage they have to bring a pretty controversial conference theme to us. And if I'm being subtle about it, just refer to what Professor Suresh and Professor Ogra just spoke about. I would also like to take a moment to thank all of you behind the scenes, those faculty and staff who have given their all to make this conference a success. My heartfelt gratitude to all of you. If I've left anyone out, please pardon me. I'm new to this establishment. I would like to address the students for just one moment, if I may have your attention. I hope you realize just how lucky you are to listen to thinkers like we have today who have spoken to you, thinkers like Professor Suresh, Professor Ogra, and Justice Bhavar Singh. I know your phones are very attractive at this age, but let me tell you that there are millions of other students or children your age or young adults your age who would give anything to be sitting where you're sitting and to listen to such thoughts. So please take a moment when you are in the presence of people who are such great scholars and administrators in their field, to take a moment to listen to them, to understand what they're saying, because this is your future, and this future is in your hands. I want to also take a moment to mention that just like in Australia, in North America, we also do a land acknowledgement for the fact that we have violently taken away the lands from many of the North American native populations. We thank, or we always acknowledge the fact that we are standing in a university on the land that once belonged to many of these Native Americans, and this is also true at the University of Miami. And finally, I want to tell you that this is the country, India, where my heart still belongs. This is the country where I grew up. It's the country that gave me my education. It's a country to whom I have eternal gratitude for everything that it has taught me about my culture, my identity. And my identity is still very Indian, and I'm very proud about that identity. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to begin my presentation by acknowledging my colleagues across the world with whom I have collaborated and from which collaborative work I draw the thoughts for my talk today. At the very heart of the theme of this conference is the question, what is journalism? As scholars, we have been asked to ponder this question within a news context that ties the three sub-themes of this conference together, a news context that may create, and I quote, identity, pride, and cultural supremacy, end quote, and that may lead to societal discord. If my talk sounds very academic, I apologize in advance, but you can blame Dr. Ambrish Saxena because he ends the description of the conference theme by the question or by the command that we scholars need to ponder this question. So I'm off the hook, and I point the finger to Dr. Ambrish Saxena. This conference theme then raises another question, doesn't it? Is there an essential definition of journalism? Or is journalism a social institution that is discursively created, negotiated, and recreated over and over again? Stuart Hall, the Jamaican cultural theorist, has said that an object, a person, or an issue does not have a predetermined meaning. Rather, its meaning is determined in its representation. And if I may, I suggest that enactment, in our case of journalism, that is, journalism structure and form, its content, its text and subtext, the subtext is important, its expanse and its boundaries are also a form of representation. Thus, the meaning of journalism changes over time and across space because its representation changes over time and across space. Now, if journalism is a negotiated institution whose definition lies in its enactment, then we must ask ourselves this question: what influences any particular enactment of journalism? I would really like the students to ask this question over and over again, right? What is it that influences the particular enactment of journalism in a particular point in time and in a particular space? This is something extremely meaningful and a question that you as students of communication should be constantly asking yourself. Now, if journalism is a negotiated, I just talked about it. So the question is, what influences any particular enactment of journalism? There's a vast array of literature and theories that spell out a host of influences, such as macro-level ideologies, societal values, organizational and institutional conditions of work, and of course, the personal belief systems of journalists. Very importantly, though, the answer possibly boils down to, or in this particular case, it boils up to power. Power as P-O-W-E-R. Who has the power to do what? Power is often characterized as domination, as power over somebody or something. In the case of journalism, this power may be over journalists or over journalism organizations, but it can also be the power that journalists and journalism organizations have over other institutions and over the public. In the latter case, it is discursive power, the power to construct reality for the public, the reality that we've been talking about in terms of identity, exceptionalism, and cultural supremacy, or as Stuart Hall may say, to create meaning. Now, these two powers may interact confrontationally or collaboratively, or most likely in some measure of both. For example, journalists may contest power attempts from other societal institutions and from other people to various degrees because they believe in journalistic independence. Or they may choose to collaborate because their views are ideologically compatible, or because they have little choice, or because it behooves them to do so. It's just politically expedient and economically profitable. As I indicated earlier, much has already been written on this topic. So what can I bring to this talk that is relatively new? Let us consider the idea of precarity, the idea that journalism is now a precarious profession in many parts of the world. This then leads me to the concept of journalist safety. Precarity creates lack of financial safety for journalists. But safety is a much wider concept. It involves the physical, the psychological, the digital, the financial, and legal dimensions. And this is critical for all of you in the audience, all of the students in this audience who are going to become journalists, right? your financial safety, your psychological safety, your digital safety, your legal safety. These are all important questions for you to think about. In a recent paper that colleagues and I wrote, we theorized that there are societal to individual level risk factors that create threats for journalists, which in turn lead to a lack of occupational safety for them, right? And if you're going to be in this profession, this is something you need to think about. And here I'm addressing all of the future journalists in this audience. This lack of safety creates stress for journalists, stress they can either cope with by adapting or cannot cope with and cannot adapt. If they cannot adapt, they use an avoidance strategy possibly and leave the profession. If they can adapt, they stay in the profession, but they may choose one of two routes. They may use a submission strategy and comply, negotiating their journalistic practice to stay in the profession, for example, by using self-censorship. They may, however, also adapt by using resistance, a resistance coping strategy, and becoming resilient enough to cope with all of the safety threats that I have just mentioned. To close the circle in this talk and to complete my presentation, I would like to return to the conference themes prod by Professor Saxena and his colleagues to the scholars to ponder about the news context that may create identity, pride, and cultural supremacy and lead to societal discord. And then to ask ourselves, are such representations by journalistic institutions and journalists a matter of a largely shared definition of journalism that allows for such enactment, where boundary work is done to enforce epistemic control? So do journalists do this because they really believe in this ideology, to put it in very simple, non-academic language? If this is the case, then there is cause for despair, because our hope only lies in a discursive change over time that negotiates us away and our journalists away from this position. If, however, this enactment of journalism that is the theme of this conference is the result of power over by somebody, power over our journalists, our hope lies in journalism institutions and practitioners adapting by using resistance and resilience. To the extent that the news media's agenda to create identity, pride, and cultural supremacy is the result of power over, I end by wishing the profession and its people more resilience, much resilience, a resilience that is a must. I hope they can start each day with I can. Thank you for taking these moments to hear my thoughts.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us another angle and a food for thought where students will definitely talk about it in the classes. I would like to inform everyone that ICAN6 proceedings are published with ISBN number. This is the part 1 of the proceedings. Like my colleague said, that we are still counting on the abstracts and we are receiving for the Bhopal edition and Dhaka edition. So I request all the dignitaries to please come on the stage and unveil the ICAN6 proceedings. Thank you everyone. The proceedings have been published right now, have more than 100 abstracts of the scholars and academicians. Thank you everyone. Thank you designing team for the creatives. We have also received wishes from Dr. Sean Redmond, Professor in Screen and Design at Deakin University, Australia. He has research interests in film and television aesthetics, film and television genre, film authorship, film sound, and stardom and celebrity. He's on the advisory board of ICAN6. I request team to play his message.
Hello, everybody. My name is Professor Sean Redman, and I teach film television at Deakin University in Australia. I've been involved with ICAN since its inception, keynoting at the very first one that was held in Delhi some years ago now. Deakin is really excited to be involved with this multifaceted conference, and we're very much hoping that we can develop it further as the years carry on. According to Stuart Hall, identity is not a fixed set of attributes, the unchanging essence of the inner self, but a constantly shifting process of positioning. We tend to think of identity as taking us back to our roots, the part of us which remains essentially the same across time. In fact, as Hall goes on to argue, identity is always a never completed process of becoming, a process of shifting identifications rather than a singular, complete, finished state of being. Identity is intersectional. It involves class, race, religion, age, sexuality. We move in and across different identity positions and roles. We put on different masks and we take them off. It's really important in this age of Trumpian ideology and the politics of division to bring together scholars, a community of scholars to look at identity and what way and how it may mean in the 21st century. I've taught identity politics for over 30 years now. My PhD was on whiteness. This notion that whiteness is the base that colours or shapes or defines almost all other identity positions. And I hope those discussions around the politics of the self, the poetry of identity are covered across this wonderful conference. I do wish everybody well. I hope the conference goes well. I'm sure it will. And I'm looking forward to having a more major role over the next few years as ICAN develops its trajectories and futures. That's me, over and out. Have a great conference. Come on.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Well, I'm glad that Dr. Manmeet has given me the best part of the ceremony to host, as I'm getting the opportunity to invite all women speakers who have been inspiring us and cheering us with their talk. So next in line is Dr. Maithili Ganju, Dean and Professor at Faculty of Media Studies and Humanities at Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies, Faridabad. Ma'am has worked in the media industry as a communication strategist, knowledge management specialist with leading media organizations like JWT India, Ogilvy Group. She teaches advertising and PR, consumer behavior, brand marketing, film studies, and media studies to the postgraduate students of marketing and media studies. This year, MRIRS is our co-host institution, and ma'am has played a significant role in this partnership. I request Dr. Ganju to share her views with all of us today.
A very good afternoon and a long morning and afternoon to my young friends in the group. I begin by again acknowledging, as is in the DME tradition and a part of their culture, that I salute. I also want to start off by paying my greetings to the first row, which has celebrated media academicians. My gratefulness to each one of you, and to Amrish sir for allowing me to share the podium with them. My dear friends, it's you who actually interests me the lot in the whole drama here, because I see that the hard work and the effort which the media academia has put till now, and the media industry as such has done over the period of, over the hundreds of years that media has been in India, is going to be now in your hands, and you are the ones who are going to lead it to the heights that it deserves. I say this with a little skepticism, which you may have noticed, not only because of what we heard since morning, which is like, telling us a critical appraisal of what's happening today, but also because we are actually having hopes from a generation that has grown in times which are very different. You are in all probability all millennials here, and for you, a lot of stuff is so taken for granted. You are a privileged lot from our perspective, but you're also not aware of the kind of responsibility that the country and the mankind has from you. Therefore, while I acknowledge, and I want to actually talk a little bit about this platform which brings me here, I also want to appeal to each one of you to take these opportunities very, very seriously, as our guest earlier mentioned also. That is because one of the important luxuries that you enjoy is the hard work that the generations before you have done to bring you at this level. Always take cognizance of this fact, that your parents, your teachers, and the institutions before you have really done a lot to bring you the luxury of sitting and listening to people and their struggles. For me, this platform is something that I have a lot of expectations and hopes from. We are into the 6th year, although my association with the platform has been fairly recent, and this was really during the COVID times. But the sheer drive and marvel of us being able to come to a platform, discuss, agree, more importantly, disagree on issues is something that I feel is extremely important for media today. We are at such a stage where media is actually being questioned, and I think that's for the first time that we are really questioning the 4th pillar concept. We are actually thinking that media has agenda which is not to the benefit. Now, these are serious allegations, and they're not really allegations. They are driven by data. They are driven by facts. And therefore, while we may think of technology being responsible, while we may think of political scenario being the reason, it is important that as youngsters who are actually trying to get into this industry, it is important that all of you look at these situations, look at what you are being taught with a critical mindset, with a mindset to add rather than to only receive. And that addition, that critical thinking is actually going to be possible, my dear friends, if you are going to be reading and researching. Therefore, a platform like this, where we are coming with our research, where we are trying to talk about the ideas that matter, be it hardcore journalism, be it even the media entertainment industry, which is what lures a lot of you into the profession. The very fact that there are lucrative jobs, the very fact that there is a lifestyle which is very glamorous. Even if that is what brings you here, it is important for you to have a critical mindset, to have the ethics, the media ethics at your heart, and your understanding of fundamental human right, which is a part of any and every good culture. Good, why did I use that phrase? That's actually not correct. I'm being judgmental. It's because culture is such a thing that we often find it very easy to quote, to talk, to show, but very, very few times do we really think when we act out what is a part of our culture. Technology is problematic or is easy only because it's building a new value system. And those value systems are what is going to drive the culture forward. My esteemed gurus here have been talking about our ancient culture and, you know, how we feel really proud as Indians to belong to a cultural to a space which is very well endowed with a rich culture. To you, my friends, I have a kind of appeal that it is not enough to just be proud of a culture that we have. It is so important and pertinent to contextualize those cultural beliefs and values in today's time. And I'm sure you do that. You know, I'm not sort of here to give a lecture, but I'm just trying to put it all together so that we know and enjoy the next 4 days and then the 2 months with this purpose of actually learning and redefining all the 3 themes that we are trying to discuss over here. Culture is what was given to me, but it is also what I make out of it in a new context, in the new situation, in the new scenario in which I'm expected to. I really salute your generation for being so for that having a value of, say, gender and gender equality, which frankly in my times was not even a concept understood. We do go back and try to look for a few examples which we hardly find of saying that we have been a culture of gender sensitivity. Not to say that we have not been, but we haven't as academicians or as researchers even bothered to look for that element, right? So that is where, as journalists, as media people, it is important that we orient ourselves to going back to the past in order to look for those issues which are contemporary and contextual, rather than going back and looking at things that may just become a statement to make. This can go on, and I know you have been extremely patient since the morning. Therefore, I'll wind up. I think I'm going to meet you again, and we are going to have more opportunities to talk and discuss. I have one suggestion for Sir, though, which is, I think now we are very well established as a platform for a lot of media research. I think it's time that we also start looking at research in a doing fashion. Maybe collaborators come together, we pitch for funding, and we do that real research, the real points that Dr. Ogra and Dr. Suresh picked up in journalism, and actually have this movement and have these young people taking it from a conference, from an advocacy platform, onto the real action and bringing out data and evidence which is going to take us miles and into the future as we watch the youngsters take the lead. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The point has been well taken. And yes, we are looking forward to her session. We are fortunate to receive a message from Professor Dr. Jayashree Jethwani, Senior Advisor Communications, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Vice President, Center of Disaster Research, NDRG, India. She has been a constant support to us. She is the instrumental in bringing international projects to DME, authored several books on advertising, corporate communication, social sector, and media and elections. She has been a visiting faculty at Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration, Missouri National Judicial Academy, a very senior academician and researcher. I request the team to play her message.
ICAN, the flagship program of the DME school, I believe, is in 6th year. This time is coming with a thought-provoking theme of identity, culture, and agenda-driven newscast, which will view looks very value-loaded and promises varying perspectives, evidence-based research, and a nuanced deliberation amidst the reality of a highly polarized media ecosystem here and probably elsewhere. I look forward to attending a few sessions. I must congratulate Dr. Amrish Saxena and his very dedicated team who's always motivated and is engaged in many such activities throughout the year besides their teaching load. But that's what a vibrant academic sphere is all about. Here's wishing ICAN 2023 a grand success. Thank you.
Next message we have is from Professor Aftab Hussain, Department of Journalism, Media and Communication, Daffodil International University, Dhaka, Bangladesh. I would like to inform you all again that valedictory ceremony of ICAN6 will be held in DIU on August 6th. So we all will be moving there. They'll be hosting us, and he has sent his message for his best wishes for the inaugural ceremony.
Hello and welcome to the latest version of ICAN, one of the most prestigious conference in the field of journalism, media, and communication. This year, we the Department of Journalism, Media, and Communication will be the part of ICAN as like the previous ones. So we welcome to Dhaka, as Dhaka is going to be the host and co-host of this prestigious conference this year. One of the part of conference will be held in Dhaka city at the Daffodil International University. So we welcome you all to present your papers and come to Dhaka, visit our university, and become a part of ICAN. Thank you.
Thank you. We all are looking forward to our trip. Now I would like to invite next speaker of the day, Dr. Jolly Jose, Associate Professor, Assistant Director, Research in Amity School of Communication, Amity University, Noida. Dr. Jose has a blending career experience of teaching, research, and grassroots work with communities and groups. Dr. Jose is also a regular speaker in Global TV Online, resource person for adolescents, children, parents, and teachers workshops and seminars, consultant to home schools based in Delhi, and member of research committee INC Bangalore, and many more reputed communities and organizations. I request ma'am to address the gathering.
Very good afternoon to the dull faces and some eager mind. I know that the distinguished guests over here already given and the detailed concept of this topic. Truly, Professor Saxena, when I saw this title, there was a shaking in my mind. Oh, this is what we all inwardly feel. What is it? Is it there around, but skeptical to speak about, fearful to speak around, afraid to write, to lead a rally, because I had led quite a bit of rally as a young activist being in the field. Today, immediately many media points to you. Why did you say? What did you say? Why don't you shut your mouth? You may be circled around by many forces. Yes, I really congratulate this forum to bring this topic in a very, very important international platform, which means to me personally, as an academician who has a bit passion about journalism today, yes, we need to speak. I wholeheartedly, first of all, congratulate the ICAN team for bringing out this such a significant, daring topic, taking it as a thought process for academicians, researchers, and journalists to ponder over and to speak about. I am happy I got an opportunity that I could glance through some of the topics related to it. It was astonishing to know that where we are nowhere. As Indians, we call it as a hub of journalism to learn. And as journalism, I also acknowledge as a professor of journalism, we are not yet done enough things or a minimum things related to research on news. Acknowledging that, I would like to connect 2 points today related to the topic. One is, I was working on children and the media. That is one of my passionate topic. A concept on the global child. A global childhood which the media creates. International media and global childhood, which we worked on in action research from 2013 to 2019. And we really affirm that, yes, you are all the outcome of this
global childhood who consume international ideologies, ideas, fashion, shoes and shirts and t-shirts and languages and hairstyles and food and all that, yes. And we project it. Yes, isn't it so? And we feel very good about it. Yes, it's a fact, and that is where we live today. And on the contrary, I just completed a research on rebuilding the lives of migrant workers in India with Australia, Caritas Australia and India. Just finish it. And the astonishing fact, which is that the flow of our own people, I feel for them from the interior parts of the country to the cities, and the blend of culture it creates. I come from down south Kerala, and there was a number of reality based there. We had data from Tamil Nadu, we had data from Gujarat and Mumbai, and we had data from Jharkhand and Bihar and Noida, like entire Uttar Pradesh and Delhi, Haryana, 9 states. The change of culture, we have changed. We are the not 10 years back people of the place. The mood changes. Do we really speak about who we really are? And what is the evolving culture in our media, in our news? This has been disturbing me these days, the past few months, which I've been directly involved in. I took my students to the entire 2 states along with me. I too went because I used to be a hardcore, rural-oriented, focused development communicationist. I enjoy going into the sun, and I expose the students who came with me. It changed the global idea of the children, the global childhood he wants to own peripherally, a reality which is being opened. I could see the passion for the peoples, the pain, the suffering, the untold stories. And this year also they came to us, ma'am, if any project is there, give to us, we love to do that. We love to tell such stories. And I challenge myself and our own fraternity. We are not orienting our students to this reality, a terrifying reality in the sense, but we have to tell the story of our people. The cultural agenda is one of the topic which I was trying to focus on. The first 3 decades, we told this story, we traced as media researchers and educationists that what is the agenda being played, the politics and the news. And the last decade, it is the business, media-driven business and the agenda. And we have today to explore a lot on the cultural representation, the newscast which is over there, symbolically, personally. The journalist who owns this culture, how much and how do they represent the media monopoly which Professor K.G. Suresh and the others have spoken about? Where does it come from? What do we own? And this is one of the elements I expect, including myself and the young generation and the present the senior researchers to dwell in. And I also expect it will be a very interesting, very fruitful research related to news we need to explore would be the identity agenda, which is less spoken. And we started with this deliberation connecting Manipur and the internationally focused on the massacre on children's life, the innocent's life in the name of identity and culture. And I would like to intimate to the young, dear students over here, we have a lot to offer to the world. We have a lot to educate the world. The previous speakers has said, we have to generate the data to prove, yes, we are, this is what a small depiction of the world, and this is what where the India is, this is what where the Asia is, this is what where the world is. And I can see it's a journey of ICAN stepping as a baby with tender food to extended food, an international platform. You are actually over there. And I wish all the researchers, I reiterate, all the researchers, the future researchers, is all of you, to contribute towards and ICAN being a starting point here, the center of the country. There should be a lot more to contribute. There will be a lot more to contribute the way ICAN has grown. And I wish all the very best. I prepared certain other points, but as listening, I felt, yes, we should take it as an interior call, an internal call, as the need of the time that we should be taking our time and work out on this and come up with a lot of evidence, the field stories, the real stories. And that would really change the focus of the newscast, that would build the communities today. And I wanted to follow that, yes, that we can do that and affirm it. And once again, I thank the organizers for this, for creating such a beautiful platform with a lot of potentials for exploration. Thank you, organizers, for this beautiful context, and all the very best.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving us a lot of ideas about research. And definitely, we all will take up some points from it and take it forward. Thank you. Now, I request all the dignitaries to come on stage to release the books of ICAN5. ICAN5 books, every year we publish complete papers in books. So this time we are releasing the ICAN5 4 books on advertising, public relation and news, cinema, OTT and social media, LGBTQI plus and gender neutrality, health and education in digital era. Can I just request everyone to be here? We have a message from Dr. Jatin Srivastava, a professor at E.W. Scripps School of Journalism at Ohio University. He's also the director of the Institute for International Journalism. His teaching experience ranges from graduate seminars in mass communication, theory and research methods to undergraduate courses on graphic design and media literacy. I request team to play his message.
Hello everyone, I'm Jatin Srivastava. I'm a professor at the E.W. Scripps School of Journalism at Ohio University. I'm also the director of the Institute for International Journalism at Ohio University. I'm here to welcome you to ICAN6, the 6th edition of a conference series that started in 2018. I have watched the proceedings of the conference in the previous years with great interest, and I look forward to all the interesting things that are going to happen this year. So with that, my best wishes to the organizers and the participants of the conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Jatin sir. We also have a message from Professor Dr. Ankuran Datta, Director, First Secretary, Swami Vivekanand Cultural Center, High Commission of India, Colombo, Sri Lanka. Professor Datta is the second person from Assam to head any Indian culture center abroad under the Indian Council for Cultural Relations under the Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India. His area of interest has been community radio, participatory video, public relations, conflict and media, broadcast journalism, communication research, Educational Media and ICT. He will also be taking an online session in ICAN6.
Greetings from Colombo, Sri Lanka. It is indeed a great pleasure for me to be here to participate in the inaugural ceremony of ICAN6. ICAN has been the most sustained media conference of India and internationally organized media conference in India in both the mode, in online as well as in the hybrid mode. And I would like to congratulate the entire team of Delhi Metropolitan Education's Media School for consecutively organizing ICAN for last 6 years. This year in the ICAN6, there are three major themes in the ICAN6. One is identity, which is a very important in the societal aspect. Then culture. Culture, we all know that culture is not only important for the media and the communication, but also culture is now, it is very important for diplomacy as well. And also agenda-driven newscast. I would like to welcome everyone to this ICAN6 edition, and it will be a great success for sure, like all the previous ICAN5, and also we'll be expecting a few books out of this conference. Thank you so much again.
Thank you, Dr. Ankuran Datta. We have a message from Professor Manish Verma, an internationally renowned higher educational professional with more than 2 decades in media education. He has excelled in academic administration, management in top-ranking Indian universities like Amity University, Jagran Lake City University, National Institute of Fashion Technology. He is currently working as Vice President or Pro-Vice Chancellor at University of College of Bahrain. He is an internationally renowned educator, presently serving as General Secretary of International Network of Media and Communication. He has sent his video message for this inaugural ceremony.
Greetings everyone, my name is Manish Verma and I'm working as Pro-Vice Chancellor at UCB Bahrain. ICAN has been a great successful media conference for years. Dr. Amrish Saxena and his wonderful team has created this great conference where people from all over the India and from abroad can come together and deliberate on media-centric issues. I wish all the media researchers, scholars, all the very best for 2023rd edition of the media conference.
Last but not the least, ICAN Gen section is the conference partner of ICAN6, and this is the second year in the row we are collaborating with them. Dr. Waziha Raza Rizvi, co-chair of Gender Communication section of International Association of Media and Communication Research and associate professor at National Beacon House University, Pakistan, has played a significant role in this association. Dr. Wajiha is the founding director of Film Museum Society of Lahore. She collects the archives of Pakistani cinema, conducts research, produces films, and provides consultancy to a number of established film and media institutions. I request team to play her message.
Hi everyone, I, Wajiha Raza Rizvi, on behalf of Film Museum Society Pakistan, Beacon House National University Pakistan, and Gender and Communication section of International Association for Media and Communication Research, congratulate Dean Dr. Amrish Saxena, HOD Dr. Susmita Bala, Dr. Manasvi Maheshwari, and the whole team of Media School, Delhi Metropolitan Education, Guru Gobind Singh, Indraprastha University, New Delhi, India, for organizing the ICAN6 conference on identity, culture, agenda-driven newscast in 2023. We at the Gender and Communication section IMCR were absolutely delighted to participate in ICAN5 in 2022. We also arranged a couple of webinars together with DME on International Women's Day of 2022 and 2023. DME did an absolutely great job in putting together a report of the events for our newsletters. We are proud of our relationship with DME and consider ICAN a great initiative for the region that brings together media academics and professionals from across the world on a single platform. We appreciate ICAN6 is absolutely inclusive and thought-provoking. ICAN invited women of kinds from across the world to chair specific sessions and to conduct Lahore Delhi documentary film workshop. We believe DME is serving India in the best possible ways and preparing the next generation of India to stand among the tallest in the world. We also congratulate School of Communications and Creative Arts, Faculty of Arts and Education, Deakin University, Melbourne, Australia, and all other partners of DME for putting together this great effort. We congratulate the students and youth for putting a number of cultural and academic activities together and making ICAN6 a great success.
So thank you so much. Well, on this note, we come to the conclusion of ICAN6 inaugural ceremony. Can I have a huge round of applause now? This will be followed by cultural performances by the students of Media School DME. I invite Dr. Pramod Kumar Pandey to deliver vote of thanks and before we hand over this dais to our students. Remember, the recordings of all the sessions of ICAN6 can be accessed through our official YouTube channel, DME TV. Follow us on our social media handles of ICAN page, DME page, so that you get the regular updates. I request Dr. Pramod Kumar Pandey to be on that.
Good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of the organizing committee of the ICAN Conference 6th edition, it is my honor and privilege to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the esteemed guests, dignitaries, faculty members, and participants gathered here today. First and foremost, I would like to express our deepest appreciation to Professor K.G. Suresh sir, Vice Chancellor of Makhanlal Chaturvedi National University of Journalism and Communication, Bhopal, for gracing us as the chief guest of the inaugural ceremony and delivering an inspiring inaugural address. Your wisdom and insights have set the tone for this conference, and we are truly grateful. Thank you, sir. A special note of thanks goes to Professor Jyotika Ramaprasad, Chair of the inaugural session, for delivering the presidential address. Ma'am, your expertise and guidance have been instrumental in shaping this event and ensuring that we tread the right path. We are honored to have Professor Ashok Ogra, advisor at APJ Institute of Mass Communication, as our distinguished guest. Sir, your keynote address was enlightening and thought-provoking, providing valuable perspectives to all the participants gathered here today. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Vikrant Kishore from Nottingham University, China campus for gracing us with your presence and delivering a special address. Your insights too have added great value to this conference. Our sincere appreciation goes to Mr. Aman Sahni, Vice Chairman DME, Honorable Justice Bhavar Singh sir, Director General DME, Professor Dr. Ravikant Swami, Director DME, and Professor Dr. Rashmi Khurana Nagpal, Additional Director of DME, for their kind support and consistent guidance throughout the conference planning. A special mention and thanks to Professor Amrish Saxena, Dean of DME Media School, and Professor Susmita Bala, Head of DME Media School, for hosting this remarkable event and ensuring its smooth execution so far. We also extend our gratitude to our esteemed faculty coordinators, Dr. Manmeet Kaur and Dr. Manasvi Maheshwari, for their diligent efforts in coordinating various aspects of this conference. We are privileged to have had the presence of distinguished professors and professionals from around the world, including Professor Ujjwal K. Chaudhary from Daffodil International University, Dhaka, Professor Victoria Duckett from Deakin University, Professor Ilem Atkar from the University of East Anglia, and Professor Sean Redmond from Deakin University, Professor Methili Ganju ma'am from Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies, Professor Dr. Jayashree Jethwani ma'am from NPI from National Disaster Management Center, Professor Aftab Hussain from Daffodil International University, Dr. Jolly Jose from MIT University, Noida, Dr. Jatin Srivastava from Ohio University, Professor Dr. Ankuran Datta from Swami Vivekanand Cultural Center, Dr. Manish Verma from University College of Bahrain, and Dr. Waziha Raza Rizvi from Beacon House National University.